The man voted least edible by Cannibal magazine 6 years in a row. And I honestly know that the prospect of talking about Trump yet again feels exhausting. We're all so tired of him. Every room in America should have a sign on the wall that counts the number of minutes that it's been since someone brought up his fucking name. But that is the thing. Trump's presidency is like one of his handshakes. It pulls you in whether you like it or not.
Donald Trump didn't walk into the White House. He stormed in like a reality TV twist. He didn't shake up politics. He deep-fried it, tweeted it, and served it on a gold plate. Whether you loved him, hated him, or just wanted to unsubscribe from Earth One Thing, is clear the Trump presidency was a one-man sitcom with nuclear launch codes.
Is it possible that Trump is well-versed in and is referring to flue gas desulfurization, fluidized bed combustion, and selective catalytic reduction? Sure, it's possible, but let's agree it's considerably more likely that he thinks you just take a bunch of coal and scrub-a-dub it with a big old sponge. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm saying the president fundamentally doesn't understand what he's talking about, and you know what that means. We got it! We got it! We got it! I got it! What, I didn't get him? Did I not get him? I thought we got him. I thought we got him that time. All right, that's fair. Okay. What? You think I don't hate myself too? All right. The point is...
Trump didn't just lead a government. He grabbed the nation awkwardly, unexpectedly, and refused to let go. Like a handshake from a man who doesn't know when to stop squeezing. There were so many scandals, missteps, and did he just say that? Moments we stopped keeping count. And that's the point. The chaos wasn't random, it was strategic. He talked about clean coal, like it was just dirty coal in need of a bath. But beyond the comedy, something more serious was happening. You see, while the media was laughing, Trump was laying down a blueprint, a repeatable strategy to control the message and dodge accountability. And it worked. He wasn't just chaotic. He was calculated, and he had 3 signature tactics. Discredit the media, distract with what about arguments, and troll his way through every controversy. Let's take them one by one.
Tonight, let's pull back from the daily Trump-induced chaos and take a look at the norms that his presidency has violated, and not the obvious ones, like the fact that he never released his tax returns, or that his own daughter and son-in-law work in the White House, although, admittedly, I am using the word work there so generously that I should be able to deduct it as a charitable donation on my taxes. Or that instead of putting his assets into a blind trust to help reduce conflicts of interest, he simply showed America that he has many large stacks of paper, presumably containing the sentence, "I can't believe I'm getting away with this," printed 750,000 times. No. Instead, we're going to talk about Trump's assault on something even more basic, the norms governing how our leaders engage with us and how, in turn, that affects the way that we engage with one another. It's why even the notion of getting him can feel so hopelessly futile. And let's first stipulate that it definitely doesn't help that so often what Trump says is complete nonsense.
Let's pause the noise for a moment and look deeper not at what Trump did, but how he changed the way presidents interact with people, and how that change reshaped how we talk to each other. No, we're not here to talk about missing tax returns or nepotism. We're going deeper into the psychological playbook Trump used to twist public discourse in his favor. Presidents used to lead by example. Trump led by disruption. He didn't just bend the rules, he rewrote the script entirely, where outrage became normal and facts became optional. Part of his genius or madness was volume.
We often read transcripts of Trump's speeches, and it's something that everyone should actually do once in a while, because when you strip away his blindly confident, entertaining delivery and just read his words, it is staggering how incoherent he is. Here is a word-for-word reading of a speech where he talked about the Iran nuclear deal.
You look at the nuclear deal, the thing that really bothers me. It would have been so easy, and it's not as important as these lives are. Nuclear is so powerful. My uncle explained that to me many, many years ago, the power, and that was 35 years ago. He would explain the power of what's going to happen, and he was right. Who would have thought? But when you look at what's going on with the 4 prisoners, now it used to be 3, now it's 4, but when it was 3, and even now, I would have said, it's all in the messenger. Fellas, and it is fellas, because, they haven't figured that the women are smarter right now than the men, so it's going to take them about another 150 years, but the Persians are great negotiators, the Iranians are great negotiators, and they just killed us.
He said so much nonsense, so constantly that people stopped noticing. And that's exactly how chaos turns into control. He wasn't delivering speeches. He was freestyling, mid-rant, with no punctuation and even less meaning. His words didn't need to make sense. They just needed to make noise. A toddler on an iPhone could give clearer directions than the President of the United States. And somehow that became acceptable. But the real problem wasn't how he spoke. It was the tactics hidden inside his message. 3 of them. Designed not just to confuse you, but to control you. And the first one? Discredit the media.
The real damage isn't in how he says things, but from 3 key techniques that he uses to insulate himself from criticism and consequence. And if we are not extremely careful, all 3 could have serious impacts that far outlast his presidency. And let's start with the first one. Delegitimizing the media. Now, Trump has been attacking the press since he declared his candidacy, and in a broader sense, he's been waging war on the very concept of truth ever since he first turned to his mom and said, "Dada," and she said, "No, I'm Mama," and he said, "Fake news," and shit his pants. Now, the difference now is he's crying fake news as President of the United States, and he is openly proud of it to the point that he recently tried to take ownership of the term itself.
The media is really the word. I think one of the greatest of all terms I've come up with is fake. I guess other people have used it perhaps over the years, but I've never noticed it.
He just took credit for inventing the term fake news, which, for the record, he did not. Meaning what he just said was technically fake news.
The words were wild, but the tactics were clear. Trump wasn't improvising. He was executing a plan. A playbook made of 3 perfectly toxic moves. And the first? Destroy public trust in the press. It started as a joke. It turned into strategy. Trump didn't just attack the media. He attacked truth itself and somehow made that look patriotic. He literally claimed he invented the phrase fake news. That's like Columbus saying he discovered America while standing in a mall food court. He didn't invent it. He just yelled it loud enough until everyone gave up.
And you can imagine him saying, well, I'm not the first politician to criticize the press. What about Hillary Clinton? What about Barack Obama? What about Bernie Sanders? And that actually brings us to Trump's second technique, something called whataboutism. It's the practice of changing the subject to someone else's perceived wrongdoing. Now, Trump does this all the time, most famously when he was asked why he hadn't forcefully condemned the neo-Nazis in Charlottesville, and this was his response.
What about the alt-left that came charging at the, as you say, the alt-right? Do they have any semblance of guilt? What about the fact they came charging with clubs in their hands, swinging clubs? Do they have any problem?
Well, actually, no, because a Nazi killing someone with a car is so heinous, any other issues that might be up for debate, under any other circumstances, kind of have to wait their turn. You can be wearing Crocs with socks, but if you're using those socked Crocs to kick Hitler in the balls, do you know what? I'm suddenly not so fucking focused on the footwear. Now, this technique of saying "what about" is actually an old Soviet propaganda tool. And the reason it is dangerous is because it implies that all actions, regardless of context, share a moral equivalency. And since nobody is perfect, all criticism is hypocritical and everybody should do whatever they want. It is a depressingly effective tool, which is why, on Trump's favorite network, you hear it all the time.
It's a loop of irony. He's faking the news about inventing fake news. If irony were fuel, he could power the eastern seaboard for a year. And when things got tough, he played another card, the Soviet card. What about Hillary? What about Obama? He didn't explain himself, he just pointed fingers in every direction. It's called whataboutism, a propaganda classic. When caught doing wrong, you don't apologize. You just say, well, they did something too. It's not an excuse. It's just a verbal smokescreen. So now, no one trusts the news. Everyone's yelling, but what about? And logic quietly packs its bags and leaves town. Next up, tactic 2. Whataboutism.
Judging your political success on how bad you make other people feel makes just about as much sense as judging your success as a zookeeper by how many bears you fuck. Oh, wow!
If your only goal is to upset your enemies, you're not leading. You're just poking bears and hoping they don't poke back. That's not politics. That's petty performance art.
That is not your job. I mean, I guess it's impressive in its own way, but it's definitely not what you were supposed to be doing. And the surest proof of trolling often comes when a troll is confronted, because that's when they have to either put up or shut up. You may have heard about cases where people tracked down the source of something awful that was posted online, only to find some sullen 15-year-old who just shrugs and goes, well, I don't know why I wrote that, I just did it. Stop asking me so many questions.
The pattern is always the same. Loud in tweets, quiet in person, big accusations, zero responsibility. It's trolling until truth knocks, and then it's ghosting.
I'll show you. Remember when Trump said that Obama had surveilled him in Trump Tower, tweeting, how low has President Obama gone to tap my phones? Watch what happened when he was asked to justify that.
Well, you saw what happened with surveillance, and I think that was inappropriate.
What does that mean, sir?
You can figure that out yourself.
Well, the reason I asked is you said you called him sick and bad.
Look, you can figure it out yourself. He was very nice to me with words, and when I was with him, but after that, there has been no relationship.
But you stand by that claim about him?
I don't stand by anything. I just, you can take it the way you want.
He accused a former president of criminal surveillance, then dodged the follow-up like a teenager who forgot his homework. I said what I said. Take it how you want. That's not leadership. That's gaslighting.
But Trump going back to his desk and pretending to work hard is an objectively funny thing to do. That's like your dog avoiding questions by pretending to do his taxes. You never do this. Why would you need to do it now? Look, and while there is nothing new about any of these techniques, they are now coming out of the Oval Office, which not only legitimizes them, it risks them spreading. And that, sadly, is happening. Last month, Congressman Paul Gosar used all 3 techniques. First, he suggested in an interview that the march in Charlottesville may have been a false flag operation created by the left, which is pretty trolly behavior.
These aren't just Trump's tactics anymore. They've become political viruses, contagious and growing. Truth? Optional. Accountability? Laughed off. This is no longer one man's act. It's a system-wide glitch. We've entered the era of copycat chaos. Imagine Trump but off-brand. All the noise, none of the flair. Just glitchy clones remixing the same circus. So what now? We laugh, but we don't forget. We joke, but we stay sharp. Because democracy isn't a show. And if it is, we sure as hell better not let it become reality TV again. If this made you smile or think, maybe hit subscribe. We've got more where that came from.